Oh, hi there. How you doing? Good morning. Welcome to Never Mind the Furthermore. I'm Brian K. Morris. And whether you're watching live or on the rerun, we appreciate you. And we're going to really get this party started in about a minute or so. So stick around. Stay tuned.
10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Never Mind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Wednesday, February 9th, 2022 edition, Never Mind the Furthermore, where we have creative conversation and way too much coffee. Anyway, hope you're having a great midweek so far. Welcome to Hump Day, new comic book day. That's always exciting. And we're going to have some fun today for at least an hour with any luck. But first of all, we're going to have some more fun by showing you a whole bunch of covers by the great Jeffrey Hayes from Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. I know what you're saying to yourself. Hey, Brian, I would really like to have a really professional looking cover on my books, and I'd also like to have some graphics to help sell it. But I can't afford somebody really good like what you just showed me. Boy, are you wrong. You see that part in the spot about indie creator prices? That's what Jeffrey Hayes offers. He offers a whole bunch of great talent for very affordable prices. So check out the GoGo, or not Indiegogo, excuse me, got that on the mind today for some reason. The Plasma Fire Graphics Facebook page. Check out the samples you see there. Then go to plasmafiregraphics.com and look at more samples. So you can contact Jeffrey there directly and find out what he can do for you. That's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. Thank you, Jeffrey, for sponsoring this episode. We are part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Yes, I finally uploaded the updated schedule. We got all kinds of cool stuff. Hope you caught the Dastardly Dingoes last night. And later today, Dr. John, the Original Gangsters, on at 3 p.m., followed by a special Rising Tide Showcase. It's something we just started. I haven't told anybody. But anyway, it's going to be kind of an omnibus slot there. And tonight, Nicholas Anthony Tockert's going to do a makeup show for last Friday's glitch-ridden broadcast. So he's doing Ask Me Anything tonight. So definitely want to tune into that. And let's see what else. Then tomorrow morning, we've got Comics Unlimited with Glenn B. Fleming and Ted Davies. They're going to talk about inkers. Those are the lines you actually see in the comics. Who are inkers? You're going to find out tomorrow. Then tomorrow night at 7 p.m. will be Comic Book Spectrum with myself, Eric Hawkins, Clyde Hall, and Brian Rodman. Probably Joe D. McPhee, because we deserve the best. Then at 9 p.m., A Stupid O'Clock with Joe Dog McKeel and his great friends, followed by Last Man Standing with Dan Hollifield, who put together this card. And check this out. Do a screen capture. We also have audio broadcasts from Keisha Acuff and George Saray. So please check them out. And and also we have a Facebook page, so give that a like too, if you would, please. And speaking of likes, we really like our Patreon supporters. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where for a modest fee every month, you can support your favorite creators directly, but you get stuff for it. There are various rewards for supporting us. And if you want to find out what I will do for you, check me out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also, you'll get your name on this card at the very least, to say nothing of my undying gratitude. And folks, I'm very grateful that y'all got started long before I got here. Holy cats. Nick Tockert is the host, the pre-host with the most here. Good morning to you all. And first of all, it also is an NTF if we don't plug Cindy Kemp. You mean CKOEPP.com. Also Bear Publications, where you can pick up, right now, you can get the PDF version of her brand new comic book, Animal Eye, issue 2. Also, you can get issue 1 from them, both the regular edition, the paper edition, and the electronic edition, as well as all kinds of cool swag, such as the Animal Eye logo cup and many, many more things. So check those out, CKOEPP.com. And Nicholas Anthony Tockert, the host of the great Friday night show, the Historical Fencing Guild, says, now that the service portion of the morning is complete, let's hit the reminder that I will be live on an Ask Me Anytime special live stream on the Historical Fencing Guild channel. That'll be 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. You want to check that out. 7 p.m. Eastern, it looks like. Okay, cool. And speaking about questions, let's open up with a good one. Working with Word, Google Docs is great for word processing, but I tend to do more image-intense publications. Do you have suggestions on better programs than for adjusting and placing images in my books? I keep forgetting, but Cookie has a Photoshop emulator that she uses that is probably about 99.9% everything Photoshop can do. It can do just as well, and it is a one-time, it's something like $40 to $5, $50, something like that. Very affordable one-time fee as opposed to the subscription thing from Adobe. That's a possibility. Also, Microsoft Publisher is usually pretty robust about doing things like that. So those are 2 suggestions, but I'd welcome anybody else's suggestions too. And good morning, Teresa Dunn. Hope you are doing well. And hey, Teresa from Carl Witzman, always glad to see you. And Amanda, who let Nick have coffee today? Me. Anyway, Carl Witzman says, Nick, I used Word for a book that included a lot of inline photos. It has tools to set up ways to pin images to a particular paragraph or keep them on a certain page. That was handy. Very cool. Very cool to know. And good morning, Carl and Teresa. No caffeine for me, just getting stuff done. I am slowly becoming a morning person. Oh my God. So far, I'm fighting that. Whether I want to or not. We get a lot of stuff done, but boy, around 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it. And did someone call my name Jody McPhee? Always. You know, you're like the magic word around here. Morning, all. Morning to you, my friend. Morning, Brian. Hope all is well with you and Madam Executive Producer. Yes, yes. We are good. She got to work today, and she's going to be coming home a little early today so we can do some running around. And then we're going to lock ourselves away and hide from humanity. It'll be great. That's what we like to do. But anyway, hope you are doing well. And also check out From the Desk of the Small Press Publisher, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. This week, he is going to teach us how to use DAZ, which is an imaging program using models that you can pose and such. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope I can stay awake. And Nick Tucker says, oh, I've used Word. It can just be a bit of a battle. So before my next campaign against the forces of boredom, I want to make sure I am suitably armed and legged. Probably too. Everyone's saying hello. And of course I did. Jody, glad to see you. And have you tried Open Office? It is kind of a Microsoft Office clone. Yeah, I used to use Open Office. I was finding, though, that it was inserting characters into my manuscripts. I have some early editions of Volcana where the copyright symbol was replaced by something. I have no idea what that's supposed to be, but it shows up on my screen as the copyright symbol, but on in the book, somehow the printer from Amazon couldn't convert it to a standard copyright symbol. But so, and I figure I'm paying for Word anyway. It does everything I needed to do, so I stopped using OpenOffice. But I would recommend it to people who are definitely on a budget, though. Word is a little too powerful. Lots of bells and whistles for specific users, and the parts that we might need get lost. I'll probably never do an appendix again, but I will need other stuff. Word is pretty powerful. Carl, when I worked for the water company, I took a Microsoft Excel class, and the guy said that the average upper end user uses about 7% of all that Word can, or any Microsoft program can do. And if you get into like past 10% of knowing what's there, you're in pretty rarefied air. So yeah, Word is powerful. I'll be the first to admit I don't use it as probably as skillfully as I should. And from Desk of Small Press Publisher gives you all the functions where you can open Word, Excel, PowerPoint files, and nowhere near the price tag. That's true. And OpenOffice is open source as well, so you get free updates, and the program itself, last I looked, was free. So I've used OpenOffice for some time, but when I started collaborating with Luke Stone, I switched to Google Docs. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Word is not that powerful compared to WordPerfect, Carl. Not sure if you can remember, but the state loved WordPerfect, which drove me up the wall. I loved WordPerfect too, because if nothing else, it made editing the form of your manuscript a lot easier, because whereas Word shows you like spaces and what we would call a carriage return back in the day, WordPerfect showed you every bit of code, and you could manipulate it and make really, really nifty looking documents. So I preferred WordPerfect myself. And Nick, sometimes I will send you my Uncle Carl's Guide to Muncie. It is text and screenshots. It was a nightmare to format, but it worked. And I had to support and teach WordPerfect for years. Don't remind me. And Nicholas Tucker is grateful. Said, and Joe D, I still have Microsoft Works Suite on my main box. Wow. Works is still around. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it would do as long as the documents are formatted for all versions of Word and oldversion.com. Okay, interesting. And before I forget, Grant Lankard has a Kickstarter right there. Beowulf #3 with issues 1 and 2 available. You can get the whole set. And also, save as a rich text format. I think everything reads it. Yes, that's what I do with all my manuscripts. Unless I have to upload it to like KDP or something, and they insist on either PDF or Word document, whatever. But I send everything I send out to other editors in RTF. And yes, Carl, the RTF, you could work it up on a PC, and it can still be read by a Mac, for instance. So yeah, and you keep your formatting. So that's why I like to use it. It works as what you use when the BS is too much and you just want to write. There we go. And I saw your post, Carl. We'll have to back later this month. I got taxes to do, says from the National Small Press Publisher. We just filed ours yesterday, and that was good. Anyway, let's just say we're going to take several steps closer to Calgon by the time it comes in. But anyway, that's what we got done yesterday. And when you just want to do text and nothing fancy, well, that's true. And RTF is great, has a tiny file size, but is utterly useless for image-based products. That's true. That is true. I tried inserting some graphics into some of my stuff, and if it's just for your use, that's fine. But if you're trying to get something fairly professional, it is a nightmare. And ouch, taxes. Oh yeah. Oh, I wouldn't insert the images until I got over to Word or something else. And think BCam has enough to read yet? Almost. And I'm about half an hour behind. He knows how to bypass the unimportant stuff, but you guys are talking important stuff. And Works in RTF is home to me. Used to drive professors nuts, but when I was asked my favorite HTML editor, my answer was Notepad. Yeah. Back when I used to mess with my BIOS and things like that, back when DOS was still a thing, that I would get in there, and I was getting pretty good at editing the program stuff. It was pretty good. And 4 commentators, 2 likes. Oh, come on now, please give my fragile ego demands you give us a like or a love. And if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Hey, if you think you're going to like any part of the show, hope runs eternal. And please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And dang, says Michaela Jade, well, I wasn't first, but I brought the fun for Hump Day. That's right. When we think of Hump Day, we think of Michaela. But anyway, from That's the Small Press Publisher, by the way, I still got a few slots open for the Dad Studio tutorial session on this Saturday. If you want a basic primer on it, let me know so I can send you the StreamYard link for the show. I'm definitely interested in, and Madam Executive Producer has given me leeway to attend. Now, Joe, I think just a suggestion, but when you announce this later in the week, make sure to save time on your show. You might want to have us make sure that we have everything downloaded that we will need. I think that might be what I am missing. I haven't worked with it in a week. I've been busy on another manuscript, but anyway, I know you'll get us through it. And I may write a novella just to avoid image placement issues for a change. Well, there's that. Of course, a lot of stuff you do is instructional, Nick, so I can see where you would need diagrams. From This is Small Press Publisher, I see only 1 like, Nick Tucker. I must be updating slow. And Carl Witzman says he's weird. No, anyway, I like to wait until the video starts before I put my like. Not sure if it matters or not. I don't know that it does either, Carl. I have heard that you can go in the minute I post this, you can go in and put a like on it. I've also heard that it doesn't accept that YouTube doesn't accept any likes until like about an hour before the show is scheduled. And by the way, we talk about on YouTube where you can subscribe to the show. You can also do the same thing on Facebook. It doesn't always pop up. But when it does, you can be notified whenever we go on the air. And good morning, Michaela Jade. We all welcome Michaela. Mwah. And hey, Michaela, hi guys. And sometimes it won't let me like it beforehand. And Nick Tucker says hello to everyone. Donna Carly, mwah. Good morning to you, darling. Michaela, you have to be in here at least an hour beforehand, sometimes more if you really want to be first. And just remember, sometimes you can't be first, but you can be next. And I'm not giving YouTube any excuses to delete my like later. Trust is hard to earn with me. And some days YouTube does so little to earn it. I understand that. And everyone's saying good morning, Ballad Carl. Paranoia is another word for longevity, says Nick Tockard. I prefer to think of it as enhanced perception, and right. And it's morning, slightly pulls up window shade, sees bright light, shutters, and pulls the shade back down. Sorry, it's best you hear this stuff from friends, Kadana. And as for the early start, NTF may be my major source for intriguing conversation. It comes from people without my last name. What do you think I rely on it for? And Carl Wisman, I see my sweetheart is suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder today. Post-traumatic, oh dear. That sounds terrible. It wasn't because of that John, what's his name, was it? Donna had a person that was making rude comments to a mutual friend and was trying to sell me cryptocurrency. So I get that a lot. I unfriended him. I may even go so far as to block him. I have a policy that if you friend me and I actually deign to friend you back, that if you try to sell me something within 24 hours, I will block you and tell you why in the worst possible way. And Donna, the evil orb is in the sky and ice is on the ground. But today we are above, I think it's still above freezing. It is melting where I'm at. Probably not fast enough, but it is working. And Frankenstein monster voice, light bad. Yes. And Carl's like, lurch silent. Well, excuse me. And there, my cereal's coming back. Anyway, well, there's the first hour and 30 minutes of the show filled. I'm only 20 minutes into the broadcast, and I'm only 23 minutes behind. I'm catching up. I feel like I'm chasing my tail these past couple days. Warriors Honor is coming along great, but not fast enough. Michaela, I understand. I find lately that I think I can get something done in a reasonable amount of time, and then it turns out that it takes me a week longer. I don't think it's because I move more slowly. I know in the current case with the story I'm finishing up, hopefully the next couple days, that I I kind of deviated from my plot outline because, it's like, I know what's happening next. I want to surprise me, because then if I surprise myself, I'm sure to surprise the readers. And we still get to the same destination usually, but the journey differs slightly. I managed to pull a couple of plot elements out that I found I really didn't need, in favor of putting in some character stuff. So it's been working. Anyway, who is pushing your deadline up, Michaela? That's a good question. And Nick Tockert says, Donna, why do you think I usually wear sunglasses and a hat everywhere? I grew up in a place that had Mirkwood vibes, and am originally from a place that rains 364 days out of the year. Oh, no. But somebody that can turn a rainy day sunny is Sarah. Sarah, mwah, morning to you, sweetheart. Hope you are well. Hope all is well. And Nick Tockert says, and it was on Christmas. Anyway, hey, Sarah and Nick, I always have sunglasses on when I'm outside, says Donna. And good morning, Sarah. Sarah, hope the casket didn't creak too loud when you woke. And Sarah says, hilarious comment without reading the context of the post directly after mine. Oh, yes, that's true. And I know I just hate when that happens, says Nick Tockert. From This Was Small Press Publisher, the caffeine IV drip must not be working. Time to get Carl on standby. And hi, guys, and I keep the hinges oiled, which isn't code. Anyway, hello, Brian. Hi, Brian. The pre-show is strong. You're whipping up the crowds, Nick. I'm proud of you. Everyone's saying hello. And Sarah says, Carl Witzman, we filled up the first hour chat, so it'll be 10 a.m. before he sees you. Well, it's only 10:22, so I'm talking fast today. And hey there. And blah. And are you going to make, from This Was Small Press Publisher says, are you going to make the dread trip, or are you going to save money? Oh, let's see. Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to the comic shop later today. John B. Pica, johnpica.com. Check out his website and check out the Back of the Cereal Box Network on YouTube. Good morning, Multiverse. I've been up since 5 a.m. and already watched Boba Fett 7 and recorded, edited, and published a Back of the Cereal Box podcast episode about it. Very, very cool. Good for you, young man. You're going to go far in this world, I tell you. And so is Ted Davies Artistry. Morning to you, my friend. And he has his Kofefi ready. God bless you, young man. We are ready with that as well. Everyone's saying, hey. And catch me, says Michaela Jade, in Des Moines this Saturday and Sunday at Merle Hay Mall. I will have all my books and a dragon. Come see her. So get your butt dragon and go see Michaela and buy some books. And we'll see on Friday and Saturday when my boyfriend is here. We enable each other in our hobbies. So, look out. I hear the cash registers ringing at Midgard Comics right now. So I guess I won't be hearing from you much this weekend. This is a good reason why. And Carl Wisman, WTF Rising Tide Showcase. See, I told you he was creating another show. Well, you see, that's kind of I figured out that's a placeholder. And the weeks that I was going to post something on RTBM, it's one of those things where I got distracted, but I liked it. So, but it's for like Nick wants to do a special show tonight. That's what it's going to be. And when I finally get around to doing more clever title pending, that's where it's going to be. And otherwise, I have other plans for that slot when somebody is not creating wonderfulness there. And speaking of wonderfulness, there is the Skunk Rocker. Mwah, Skunk, how are you? I was recently recommended a program called Scribus by a publisher of tabletop role-playing games. And bonus, it is free. I hear it's good. I hear it's really good. Personally, I haven't tried it out myself because I'm still busy with other BS. Also, hi, Skunk, how you doing? And I forgot about Publisher. Yeah, I used to be pretty good at Publisher. I don't use it so much anymore because I don't have a need to, because I sleep with my formatter, and she'll do all that stuff for me, and everyone's saying, hi, Skunk. Yeah, I forgot about Scribus. There is something coming up. I think it's called Atticus. And I heard about it on the Book Launchers channel, where it is supposed to be a combination of Google Docs. Oh God, I always forget the name of the Scriveners and Microsoft Word. It is supposed to be a very, very powerful thing. You can buy it right now, although I think it's still in beta testing phase. But it's created by a guy named Dave Chesson, who does a channel on YouTube called Kindlepreneur that is very, very informative. So I am gonna look and I've heard they haven't got all the bugs worked out yet, so I'm waiting on that. And thank you, Ryan Permisson, for sharing with us. Everyone's saying hi to the Skunk Meister there. And good morning, Nevermorians from Ryan Permisson. How are you? Got my booster this week. Excellent. So far, sore arm and some fatigue. In the meantime, follow us here for great nerdy content at It's Nerd Culture on YouTube. Just keep this seriously. Ryan, do this, and it will mitigate the pain a bit. And Bobby Nash, good morning, brother. How you doing? Good morning, everyone. I do my writing in Word as well. Well, Bobby, they're acknowledging who you are today. Thank you, StreamYard, and it's good to see you, sir. BobbyNash.com, also AbrahamSnow.com. Check out the latest new Snow Omniverse with a story by myself in there. So very, very cool. Good to see you, Bobby. Always good to see you, man. Ryan Permisson says, check out the Nerdcast where I review movies. Check that out. It's a good show. You'll like it. And in case you missed it, check out the latest episode of And I Quote with writer Jim Beard of Flinch Books and Other Places. He's awesome. And also check out the interview with Glenn B. Fleming from the same show. And check out the latest episode of Boba's Weekly Bounty with Bobby Nash. That's why he's here. Bobby Nash is cross-promoting, and that was fun. It's fun to have you here. And Ryan Permisson says that if you want to be a guest on And I Quote, they do their thing Saturdays live at noon Eastern, but they can pre-record, and it's a good place to promote yourself and have some fun talking with Ryan Permisson. And I have killed the chat. Well done, me. Well, you keep working. I'll do the kiss of life on it. You try to kill it again, and bring Cookie home. Thank you, Ryan. Goal number 1. And Brian Nance, good morning. Good to see you. I think I'm going to see you probably next month in Kokomo, Indiana. And Ryan Permisson, great news. We got a new sponsor. More details to be announced. Excellent news. Excellent. Oh, no, Skunk. We've been chatting since 8 a.m. and here, so now we're tired out. Good. I can leave early. And have a great productive day, Nevermore. It's Ryan Permisson. That's my goal. Hope you have one, too. And Joe Dog McKeel of Stupid O'Clock, Saturdays at 11 p.m. Eastern and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Always entertaining, always fun. And good morning, everyone. The sun is shining here. I'm alive, and, well, we'll just leave it at that. Well, like Milo said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And William A. Bove, good to see you. Hi, everyone. How you guys? I hope all are well. We are doing great. We are drinking coffee, talking to you guys, talking as fast as we can, because we're trying to catch up. We're only 9 minutes behind, yay me. And yay for Grant Lankert, who's launched the crowdfunding campaign for Beowulf. I'm hoping to get on that. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope all is well. And back of the cereal box, I know you. Hey there, friends and foes. We just hit 1,300 subscriptions. Yes! Well done, young man. Well done. Congratulations. You've earned each and every one. And Beowulf number 3 had a very good first 12 hours. Thank you so much for everybody who has supported it so far. Well, cool. Glad to hear that. And Maureen Grant, you were almost halfway there. Way to go. I agree. An excellent back of the cereal boxes from the Small Press Publisher. People like you a lot better than I. A lot better than me, too. So, in fact, they put you and me together, Joe. There's still more people like John. Understandable. And I'm very thankful for all the support you guys have shown me over the past few months. Well, Grant, we're glad to do that, man. I've got to get on that thing, too. I really do. And Facebook user, hello, Nevermorians. Hope you all are well and warm. Big hugs and much love from Kathy Jackson. Mwah. And check out Kathy Jackson's books that she has a page where you can promote your writing and such, and take advantage of it. It is a great, great place. She's got some great people there. And Kathy, we love you. Mwah. Hope you guys are doing well in Southern Illinois. And from the desk of the Small Press Publisher, I thought Sarah is more goth. She would turn a sunny day into a glorious, cloudy, fun day. That's true. Every day is fun day with Sarah. And BKM, yes, Joe. Figured it out. I was talking about the dread trip that Sarah makes to the comic shop where they turn her upside down to get her money for comics. The thing is, Joe, they don't have to do that. The minute she goes into the place, she already assumes a handstand, and the money just pours out. They just keep filling a box as long as they hear jingling on the floor. That's the way it works there. And why was I deleted from the comments here? No, nothing I'm aware of. Teresa Dunn. I have no idea why. It could be a glitch in YouTube. So, and distracted, Brian Squirrel. Oh, anyway, and Rick Bradley, good morning to you. Good morning, Nevermornings. I think these providers are trying to drive me crazy today. Anxiety through the roof. And you came here to calm down. What's wrong with this picture? And not that I can tell, Teresa Dunn. I only saw a handful of comments from you, says from Dessa Small Press Publisher. I am just what you've heard me read, Teresa, except for some of the like hellos. I'm trying to get through those so I can catch up. Grant Lanker said the NTF community has been great. Cool. Besides the Kickstarter support, I even got Get Well Soon cards when I was in the hospital from a couple people. Thank you again, everyone. Well, Grant, you keep taking care of yourself, fella. And Teresa, did you post any other comments after the hello? I didn't see them. Yeah, and Carl's an admin here, so he should see them as well as I should. And I'm paying forward too. Cool. I already have a Get Well Soon card for Varian. That's excellent. Yes, Varian Grant. Contact Krista Grant. Varian, as you know, has had some strokes lately, and not the good kind. And he wouldn't mind a little cheer me up. I'd send him a card, but the only thing I've got around here are Christmas cards. So I can send him a Christmas card and say, "Oh yeah, here's your gift. Get well." But anyway, Varian, hope you are back on your feet again soon, sir. And hi, Teresa Dunn, says Donna, and not showing up on my phone. Well, that's it. You're on a phone. Abandon the phone. Go to a computer like the adults do. And I usually see even the comments that YouTube tries to delete. Yeah, nothing has crossed StreamYard, Teresa, that I'm aware of. And Grant saying hi to Teresa. And from this, a Small Press Publisher, that was more for SharePoint site and website. Now, it is not as great as what people make it. It's Microsoft's attempt to add the coding aspect from WordPerfect to Office. Well... That's too technical for me. All I know is that I know how to work it. So, and oh yeah, the phone version is horrible. Yes, Carl, I did. Okay, yeah, it could be that your phone is not talking right with YouTube then. I have no idea. But it sounds like it's more like on YouTube's end. Anyway, good morning and happy Wednesday, Molly Daniels. Mwah, we love you. And give Kenzie Michaels a big squeeze from me, too. And Eek, Teresa Dunn, showing on the web browser that I am using. And Teresa says, hi, Grant. And Ryan Permison sent me a friend request today. I accepted. The poor boy knew not what he did. Donna, oh, I'm telling you, try not to emotionally scar that man too much. He's our friend. And hi, Molly from Donna. And Brian Robin, good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. Last night, we dived deep into Chad's mind. Oh, is that what we're calling it now? We discussed worldview and the creative process of the silence. Number 2, be sure to tune in and bring your thinking cap. I got mine on. And check out Dasher Dingles. That's always a great, great show. And Albert is going in for his surgery on the 17th, which would be what? A week from tomorrow, I believe. A week from, a week from Thursday. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, but a week from tomorrow. So everybody keep Teresa and Albert Dunn in your thoughts and prayers, please. Scott Cracker says, I only use 2 programs for writing myself. Google Docs for when I want to collaborate with others, and Notepad when I don't. I understand that. And good, poor guy waited long enough, says Carl Witzman. And Brian Robinson, that's all for me, folks. Love you, Brian. I love you too. Mwah. Thanks for your sexy time. You too, Brian. And have a great day, everyone. Brian, you take care of yourself, buddy. Oh, and Molly Dance, I'm also a fan of working with Word. There we go. I love it. And Grant Lankard, I set up a concert yesterday and actually Googled the phrase concert disaster this morning because the thing I was helping build did not look stable. Ooh. I've heard of a number of concert disasters. Like a thing, what was it, about 6 months ago, where that one rapper was that like 10 people or so died at his concert from getting crushed. And then there's the classic one in Cincinnati from the 70s where there was a stampede to see the Who, and some people died then too. They're still upset about that too. And they don't like me, they like my co-host. Well, John, I can understand that. You have some cute co-hosts, although you make a beautiful Harley Quinn, I will say that. And I have been under a lot of stress lately and my blood pressure's up. Oh, I don't have high blood pressure, but I am a carrier most days. So, but anyway, Teresa, things will get better. Trust me. And hi, Donna from Molly Dales. And BKM can't read or post every comment. Well, sometimes it's a matter of I don't see it. And the thing is, sometimes when people share a one of my shows, like let's say they share it on their page and somebody comments on their page, I'm not likely to see that comment there. I broadcast to Kathy Jackson's books, Rising Tide Broadcast Network page, Rising Tide Publications page, and YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So if you do something on one of those pages, I'm very likely to see it. But if you share it onto your page, I'm grateful and I thank you for it. But anyone who comments on there, I'm not likely to see it. So please don't be offended, folks. And Midgard's owner immediately brings out a box anytime I show up. I believe that's true, Sarah. I believe you completely. A brand new website for my personal brand at johnpica.com. Would love your feedback. We will check that out, sir. We will check that out. And Nick Tucker says, Brian, my phone is just a small touchscreen computer anyway. Well, that's true, but that's the point. It's small. My fingers are not. So, and this is where someone says, believe it or not, Sarah, it says that's the Small Press Publisher. And Rick Bradley says, R&D Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming from the point of view of an old school gamer and the view of a younger gamer, and see how those views differ and maybe sometimes be similar. Come join author Rick Bradley and his son Donovan as they discuss gaming throughout the years. Come ask any and all questions about the topic, and let's have some fun exploring the huge world of gaming, coming soon to the Rising Tide Network. And not soon enough, I will tell you. And hi, Brian. How are you? Jake Lindsay. Glad to see you in your magic. You'll never guess what I found out when I used to be 252 at Christmas time. I checked my weight this morning. 243. And the thing is, I don't drink six Pepsis a day anymore. Yeah, and I love the autocorrect here. It has a day, like Meatloaf's real last name, and 6 Pepsis. I believe that's an infection. So, oh dear. Well, you don't drink 6 infections a day, you're bound to improve your health. And Sarah says, nothing missing while using my phone. No idea what's glitching. Most likely it's Facebook, as BKM is thinking. That glitches on me from time to time as well. My thinking glitches on me constantly. And just because your car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, says Rick Bradley, and the surrounding woods look like they're breathing and the darkness oozes after you, that doesn't mean you're in danger, does it? Find out when you order the introduction to Rick Bradley's Eden Falls trilogy, Marvin's Night Out, right now on Amazon, paperback and digital format. And ruffle from Sarah, and the magic of Jake Lindsay. I'm going to try to get to 235 on March 13th. Well, good luck to you, man. Just do it in a healthy manner. That's all. And hilarious desk says Sarah, we have the funniest furniture in this place, I'm telling you. And yes, Jake Soto will put the pounds on you. Good job. Yeah, seriously. Sorry to hear about your health problems, Teresa. It's actually her husband, Albert, and it's not up to me to tell what it is, but it's he'll be going in for surgery for it. It's kind of major, but I am confident he will pull through, and he will if he has the love of Eric Hawkins. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you are doing well today. And is there a healthy water flavor packet you recommend that I could put in a water bottle to stay healthy? I was getting like a lot of the I don't know how your body reacts to artificial sweeteners, but there are several really good ones. Kool-Aid has some like those little tubes you can put in there, and I think Country Time Lemonade has some. Now a lot of those are 0 calorie or low calorie because they use like aspartame or acesulfame. But I've stopped drinking those. I've just learned to like water again. So that's it. And so let's go on. And then Michaela Jacobs, have a great day all. I'm off to get some words written. Mwah! Also, check out Monday night's Tidbits and Scribbles. Good stuff on there, I'm telling you. And speaking of health, says Molly Daniels, since the gallbladder was evicted, my body no longer likes broccoli cheese soup. Had to switch to potato soup at McAllister's, or irritate my boss by making a mad dash for the back of the store. Cookie gets that occasionally. She's lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerant. Milk does not like her one bit. But Milk hasn't taken the time to know her as I have. Anyway, but yeah, I understand that, Molly. She gets too much milk and she forgets to take her pills. She gets her mail in the bathroom. That's all I can say. That's about as delicately as I can put it. And good luck, Michaela. Yes, good luck, Michaela. Onward. And speaking of weight loss, John B. Pica started at 279 and he's down to 238. Yeah. And he looks sensational. And he did it in a healthy manner, too. So you look good, John. You're the cutest. Cutest Harley Quinn I've seen in ages. And Molly, they warned me about fatty foods. Donuts are off my diet now. I don't eat many donuts. I don't eat a lot of stuff that's bad for me. I could cut down my carbs. I have too much bread and pasta in my diet. But other than that, I'm maintaining. I'm still heavy, but I'm maintaining. And Jake, have you checked out the Mio drops? That's it. That's what I was trying to remember. Hubby loves lemonade and sweet tea ones. I didn't care for the sweet tea one after a while, but a lot of the fruit flavored ones, I enjoyed those. Yeah, Mios are pretty good. John Pica says, I'm not going to recommend anything for Jake because he'll ignore the advice and ask again in 3 weeks. Well, mark your calendars, people. And if you forget, then you ask John in 3 weeks. And the concert I worked yesterday was the first heavy labor I've done since the heart attack, and I slept almost 12 hours last night. It must have really worn me out. I would say so. Now, was this the Billie Eilish concert that you were talking about the other day? Because if not, who was it? And did you enjoy it? That's what we want to know. And like I used to buy water packets from the grocery, but the doctor told me they had bad chemicals in them like Diet Coke. If you're talking about the artificial sweeteners, yeah, some people can't handle those. They're not really bad per se. There is some preliminary there are some preliminary studies that say that aspartame might affect your brain chemistry just a little, but not a whole lot because there's just such a small amount in there. But I'm trying to think what else. Acesulfame, that's one Cookie can have. She can't have aspartame. It gives her migraines, like a lot of things do, like me. And healthy water solutions, stir liquid water enhancers. Use stevia for sweetening, great for those of us who can't do fake sugars. Yeah, or, just put like a very, very small amount of sugar in there. So, don't load it up like 5 tablespoons in a 7 tablespoon container. And Grant Lager says, I might do some lighter exercise today. It's supposed to be almost 50 degrees in Pennsylvania today, so I can go for a walk. Well, there you go. Walking is actually one of the best exercises for you. I went on a radical diet when I was 30, and I was trying to impress a girl, and it worked. I went from almost 200 pounds down to, 193 in about 6 months. But I was power walking. If you ever see Dr. Detroit, the opening of Dr. Detroit, that was what I was doing. And it's one where you pump your arms and you're trying to walk as quickly as you can. I can't do that anymore. But I burned the pounds that way, and it was minimal impact on my knees and ankles and stuff. So it was pretty good exercise. So yeah, Grant, take it easy, dude. Yeah, seriously, don't overwork yourself, Grant. And Molly Daniel says, I lost 10 pounds of gallbladder eviction, told doctor he was now free to evict any non-essential organs like the appendix, spleen, and the uterus. I'm sure he appreciated the shopping list, Molly. And is fish pretty healthy for weight loss? Like, I'm going to try to cut out foods like brownies, Pop-Tarts, and fatty foods and weight. Well, you cut those 3 things out, you're golden. Actually, there are some fishes that are good for you. Like, I love cod. I love tilapia. It's very delicate. It's kind of like it's like cod, but a lighter flavor. Love shrimp. Love salmon. In fact, salmon has the kind of the fats that you want in your body. So does olive oil. So also something you can do is switch. I don't know what kind of cooking oil you use at home, but switch to a more vegetable-based cooking thing like saffron oil or saffron oil is pretty expensive. But like canola, that's what I was trying to think of. Canola oil. Or peanut oil is not too bad if nobody in your family has a peanut allergy. But olive oil is also very good for you too, and it has the kind of lipids you need in your diet. You also could take fish oil. I take a couple of them a day, and it's done wonders for my cholesterol. So anyway, the magic of Jake Lindsay is Minute Maid juice is pretty healthy instead of pop. It's healthier instead of pop, but check the label. It might still have a lot of sugars in it. So anyway, it was the Billie Eilish concert. The guys on the crew were complaining about her, saying she's a diva, but I'm thinking these macho dudes might resent a young, successful woman. Yeah, that happens a lot. And from everything I hear about her, she's as normal as anyone here, which probably is not saying a lot good about her. But anyway, no, I hear the term I hear about her most of the time is she's normal. She's a normal 18-year-old woman. And I think she's crazy talented. I hope. But did you enjoy the show? Did you get to see it? Did you enjoy her music? I really did. Yeah, definitely check the sugar content, says Molly Daniels. Exactly. Check the label on the side. And overworking backfires. I learned that the hard way. No bueno. Yeah, it's more like guano. I hear you. I have some days where I'm like, not when I'm riding particularly, but like when I'm after I shoveled out the driveway. I'm still recovering from that last week. And Rick Bradley says, I have a treadmill buried in my garage. I need to get it unburied. I've gained 40 pounds since starting this blasted office job, and it's made me lazy. It's a vicious cycle. Yeah, that is. You have to keep on top of this stuff. I saw a quote from Will Smith about 5 years ago, and they asked him, he's somewhere around 50 or so, and they asked him, how do you stay looking as good as you do? And he said, he made up his mind long ago to get healthy. And he said it's easier to stay healthy than it is to get healthy. So that's why he does it. And weight loss without muscle building or toning is useless. That's true, because more muscle will help you burn more energy. I need to do some more stuff for my upper arms and stuff. But I do a lot of walking up and down the stairs. That helps a lot. I think my mom uses Pam spray for the fish. I'm not sure. That works. Pam is good for that. That's exactly what Pam is for, is a low calorie, lower fat way to cook. And that's a good thing. Now, Jake, do you really want to lose weight and get in better shape? Eliminate all wheat, soy, and added sugar, processed sugar. That's true. Increase your vegetables. Another way I've done it is like let's say you have a pound of food, all right? And let's say it's pasta, okay? You take 1 pound of food and you start by not cooking a quarter of that and replace it with an equal weight of vegetables. Vegetables are good for you, and they're better for you than taking vitamins. So anyway, Grant Lankard, I didn't really get to pay attention too much for the music because I was working, but what I heard sounded good. I really like her music. And one thing I think, Grant, that shows what a good song can do is when it can be adapted to other genres of music. Like I'm fond of a group called Hayseed Dixie, which is a parody band of heavy metal, except they play it in bluegrass style, and they're absolutely entertaining. But when you hear something like Fat Bottom Girls or Thunderstruck, with banjos and fiddles, and you still like it, that shows it's a great song. So, and I heard a lot of covers of Billie Eilish that were just every bit as entertaining as her version. So, let's see, Carl Wisdom says, we old guys just like to grump about successful 18-year-olds. How dare they? And cue Greta, then an ad. Okay, there you go, Carl. Yeah, we'll that's probably true. Or did I take that out of here? Oh, I took it out of here because I got a compilation here. I got to put that back in sometime. Oh, well. It was a try, but we'll get back to the comments. So, how far behind am I? I'm only 2 minutes behind right now. Congratulations to me. But yeah, how dare you? Anyway, the magic of Jake Lindsay says, like the reason why I'm going on a diet when I was 252, the doctor said I was in risk for diabetes with drinking all the pop. Hopefully by next appointment, I'll be 200. That would be great. You'll feel better too. And Sarah says, I'll have to look at the Splenda because that's what I've been using. Yeah, Splenda is acesulfame. And the yellow packets are acesulfame, which doesn't have quite, a lot of people can take it when they can't take aspartame, which is the blue packet. That's Splenda, or not Splenda, but NutraSweet. And then stevia is the green packet, and regular, and then and then there's the pink packet that I absolutely hate. I really don't like the flavor of that at all. But in white is usually the sugar. Anyway, Grant Lankard says, well, the thing I thought was BS was that the guys on the crew were complaining about how all the food had to be vegetarian, but you never hear anyone call Paul McCartney a diva. Exactly. And if she wants to be a vegetarian, that's her choice. And it's and it's frankly none of their effing business what she eats. Being a vegetarian does not make her a diva. I mean, I'm a carnivore and I'm the biggest diva I know, usually. Anyway, Sarah, Splenda uses red dye to make it white. Ack. I just know Cookie can have that. So, but we like our red dye. And Jake, eat fewer than 1,600 calories per day, walk at least 1 hour each day, and do weightlifting or resistance training to build muscle and burn fat. Also something you do is Tai Chi. That's also very good for you too. John Pike is down 40 pounds and only have 20 more to go. That's beautiful, John. That is fantastic. I'm actually about 35 pounds. I'd like to lose 35 pounds. I may have to join you guys in a really serious diet. Now that Brian's only 2 minutes behind, who uses merch providers? I do. We do have a merch line. You can see that in our description. And Sarah, also the darker the veggies, the healthier they are. Yeah. And like yellow, actually, corn is not a vegetable. Corn is a seed. Tomatoes are not vegetables. They are actually fruit. But they're healthy for you. But like the green vegetables are almost always good for you. The only exception is like what is it? Iceberg lettuce. There is very little nutrition in iceberg lettuce. That's why a lot of people go for romaine or I like spinach. I like spinach salads. Oh my gosh. I there's just a little bit more there to eat and lots of iron in them. And same here, Grant says Molly Daniels. I'm pre-diabetic, so I've been working to lose weight and changing my eating habits. A friend told me he ate tuna salad and lost, so I'm trying chicken salad. That would work. And again, go to Beowulf number 3. You can also get issues 1 and 2. They were awesome. And check that out and back it today. Let's make the needle move for our good friend here, okay? And the Magic Jake Lindsay says, even last night I went to a magic meeting. I asked for 3 pops when I go there. I didn't want to pop. My mom told me you didn't ask for pop tonight when you always do. I'm really happy for you. Well, good for you, young man. Good for you. And is bananas and oranges healthy to eat a lot? I love those. Yeah. Now keep in mind that bananas have a lot of sugar in them too, but you also get a lot of nutrition in them. So that's the thing about some foods. For instance, it's no secret I drink an ungodly amount of coffee every day. Now, coffee has antioxidants in it that keep me looking like, nobody knows I'm 95 years old. I only look 94, and it's thanks to coffee. And the only thing that really doesn't make coffee a really healthy drink, aside from the caffeine levels, is the fact that it misses a lot of nutrients in it that you can get from other drinks. So anyway, and Grant Lanker says, thanks, Carl. Grant, you should be promoting. Dang it. Have you forgotten where you are, young man? And since we became the health network, even the Russian bots don't come here. That's right. When we start talking about the sex again, maybe we'll get our friends back here. And Brussels sprouts and asparagus and cucumbers are your friend. I love asparagus. I really do. And Brussels sprouts. It's one of those things when I was much younger, I did not like a lot of green vegetables. I like peas. I didn't like broccoli all that much. I hated green beans with a passion. In fact, green beans sometimes made me upchuck. But as I got older, I started trying them again, especially when you get them fresh. Like I go to the Asian buffets and if they have the long green beans or asparagus and they're, moderate, nicely cooked with a little bit of garlic on them, and a little bit of crispness, not Christmas, but crispness to them. I love that. I really do. So, that's something to consider also, Jake, is add more vegetables to your diet. And it's selfish, Grant. We want our Beowulf. Yeah, that's right. That's why Brian Rodman left. Everybody keeps asking him about the nebulizer number two. And Molly Dan says, maybe we scared them off Monday with the 80s pop culture. That could be. It could be. The 80s aren't for everyone, And Carl Wisman and Mooney was so cute on his little movie. And Grant says, I have been promoting, just sometimes the links don't show up. What you can do is put in the links, use the shorter link that Kickstarter can get to you, kind of like a bit.ly address. And instead of the dot, though, putting in the dot, just write the word dot out. That will help. Anyway, is there a healthy lemonade brand you recommend? Fresh. Always go fresh. You can also get like real lemon if you can buy the bottle, or it's easy enough to juice a lemon, and then I was about to say juice a lemon. Those things squeal when you do that to them. But anyway, you juice a lemon, and you can add as much sweetener as you like. I do the same thing with limeade. I get that key lime stuff that you can buy for mixed cocktails and stuff. And I make a limeade out of that is just ooh la la. And I gained a significant amount of weight over the past year. When it's too frigid out, I go to the biggest store and walk. It's a goal to get out there and do it regularly. I do the same thing. I mall walk occasionally. Haven't been doing it lately again because it's been ungodly cold and I've had a lot of work to do. But yeah, it'll work. And besides, you're still beautiful, hon. And that too, Molly, we need Cookie to curse on air. No, we don't. That's why she's at work. She can keep her mouth shut. So, okay, we don't need to hear all the out of her face. Okay, so there, Cookie. And by the way, says John B. Pica, everyone may find it interesting that I was paid $2,000 to become a walking billboard for LT360, Monetize Your Brand. That's the program I am doing. Oh, okay, interesting. And Molly Dale says, I love cucumbers dipped in ranch dressing. My favorite veggies cooked are peas, but only the frozen ones. Can't stand canned. Corn and carrots. That's the thing. Once you start eating fresh vegetables, I really don't care for canned vegetables all that much. I'm the same way. Corn, or corn and peas, I like them frozen. Because they are frozen, and there's been studies that show that by the time they reach your table, they've been frozen and a lot of their nutrients haven't aged out. So actually frozen vegetables are better for you with more nutrition than if you were to get the fresh version. So the live versions and cook them yourself. And good point, Carl. Mooney gets sad when people don't back the comics. So if you don't want that sweet little guy to get sad, go over to Kickstarter right now. But Grant, what if you have dog lovers here and they want to see Mooney unhappy? Oh, we got to change our promotion here. Nick Tucker says this is a great time to mention that the Rising Tide Broadcast Network is not a medical or legal resource. All opinions expressed are for entertainment purposes only. Consult your medical providers or legal counsel as needed. Very good warning. In fact, I made a banner here a long time ago. I never use it though. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, the guests, as well as the audience, and are not necessarily the opinions of the other members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. I figured the rest of the guys and gals on the network would be grateful that it's like that they don't get painted with the same brush we do. We're going to keep that up for a while. And Jake Lindsay says, would broccoli and cheese work for vegetables? Not the cheese so much, but the broccoli would. Now, the problem with cheese, though, I'll tell you, is a lot of sodium in it and high concentrations of fat, unless you buy something with low sodium and low fat amounts. And it's just a matter if you do it, cut little corners here and there. For instance, we bought Worcestershire sauce last night. I got Lee & Perrins because I love Lee & Perrins. That's my favorite brand. I got the low sodium version because I'm sensitive to salt with hypertension and all. So, you just gotta, but the cheese is not good for your diet. But the broccoli sure is. But you can have, try something like that. Take a little bit of butter and melt it in a pan, drop your broccoli in on top of it, and put like a little light drizzle of honey on top for some sweetness, and maybe drop some slivered almonds in there. And that's my mouth. I don't know about anybody else, but my mouth is watering at the thought of it. My dance. Oh, and the aforementioned broccoli. And Johnny Piker, spoiler-free thoughts about Book of Boba Fett Channel 7 at backofthecerebox.fun. Check it out. And that works, Jake, but try to minimize the cheese. Also, shame on anyone who disappoints Mooney, says Carl Witzman. Yeah, Grant, what you're saying about the cheese is, I'm thinking of like the like if you get like the queso or the melted cheese. Instead, try like a moderate amount of grated Parmesan. That stuff's the bomb. And I love broccoli too, my favorite vegetable. I like broccoli a lot. I really do. And BKM talks brave when she can't hear. That's right. I'm not afraid of that when she's not here. And she doesn't watch the show when I on the rerun, so I'm safe till she gets home. Anyway, somewhere Cookie just turned at work and stared in Brian's direction. I feel the waves of hate coming from Subaru. If I'm not here on Friday, you'll know what happened. And Johnny Bike on Molly, that ranch dressing is killing the benefits of cucumbers. Yeah. You know what's good is you can get just like you can make it with the tzatziki sauce. And you can make it with a little bit of light mayo, some pepper, and some powdered garlic or granulated garlic. I've started using granulated garlic that I get at Gordon's Food Services, and that stuff is a lot easier to work with than the regular onion or garlic powder that we've been using. So yeah, that's always good. And you can make a nice little cucumber salad by really thin slicing like a white onion or Vidalia. Oh my God, that's good. And dropping that in there, you just make it like kind of a tzatziki sauce, like you'd find on a gyro. That's good eating right there. And Molly Dan says, BKM booked my motel room for SalukiCon yesterday. Yes, I'm only staying over Friday in case my request for the day off is not approved. Well, it's a one-day show, April 16th, I believe it is, 15th or 16th, whatever that Saturday is. I'm only there one night too, so where did you wind up staying? I usually stay at the Best Western on the east side of town, rather. It's a nice place. I that's where I stay every time I go. And use hummus instead of dips or dressing. Oh, now that's a beautiful suggestion, John. And John, here's something. Was it Bob's Red Mill makes a chickpea powder, and Cookie and I rehydrate it and add spices, and we make our own hummus. And it's really good, a little less fat than normal. We control it. We add olive oil to it, but we control how much fat goes into it. And it's very, very healthy and very delicious. And Cookie sensed the disturbance in the force. She just knows I'm disturbed. So, and is the Juice V8 pretty healthy? It's not too bad. Again, check the sodium levels. You might be sensitive to that. And when I lose the last 20 pounds, I am going to start offering weight loss and fitness consulting. Well, good for you. Good for you. You serve as a good example. And good morning, Cindy Cap. Mwah! Glad to see you. CKOEPB.com for the best newsletter in the industry. And Animal Eye #2 is available in digital form right now with the physical copies on their way. And would ranch work instead of cheese? Is ranch a little healthier? Only by a smidge. If you want something like that, make a vinaigrette. That's a lot lighter in terms of fats. Molly Dan says, my daughter's watching Boba, John, but she's a few episodes behind. Told her about your broadcast. She'll tune in once she catches up. Excellent. And I got Beowulf 1 and 2, and I lost about 20 pounds. It works. Back Beowulf now for rapid, healthy weight loss. Back Beowulf, available on Kickstarter. And not a doctor, but I do have major health shenanigans I have to control through diet. So stay tuned. Yeah, she would have some tips for you. And Cindy is, for all of her problems, she's a very healthy looking lady. She's, she would have some stuff to tell you. And the magic of Jake Lindsay says, I found out from my doctor that eating before bed made me gain weight. I was shocked when I found out that now I don't eat before bed. Yeah. Or bed, rather. Yeah, it's true. You should actually lay off food for like at least a couple hours before bedtime, because basically the stuff digests and you're not exercising it out. Sometimes if Cookie and I go out and we have a heavy meal, we'll go to like a mall or something, or a store, and like big box store like Walmart, and just walk around, walk it off. So, try to at least elevate our metabolism a little. And Cindy Cap says, better living through chemistry should not apply to your diet. Go to Smashwords. By the way, saw an item this morning that Molly and might be of interest in Molly and Cindy and Michaela. Draft to Digital just bought out Smashwords. I haven't read the press release entirely yet, but Draft to Digital is a very up and coming publishing service for a number of authors, and I know they do. They have like a lot of reach with digital stuff. Excuse me. But they are looking at doing printing like KDP or Ingram Spark. So stay tuned. This could work out well. And Nightreich and League of Impossibles are available at Amazon.com/author /John Pica. Pick that up. Night Rake is a terrific book. You'll love it. And the 16th, in case the powers that be don't allow me Friday off. And yes, Best Western. Excellent, excellent. They have a great breakfast over there, by the way. There's a Walmart down the way. Yeah, there's a Walmart to the north and a Kroger's to the south. So if you need anything, and you're right next to a little strip mall, so if you want pizza or Mexican food or alcohol, I tell you, that's the place to go. So the Wi-Fi is usually pretty good, and they're really nice there. For the rest of the small price publisher, V8 is not too much sodium. V8 blended juices with things like orange juice and such can be high in sugar. That's the problem with a lot of, well, really any of the canned or boxed fruit juices, that they add a lot of sugar to that. So, we'll see if that works, Carl. It can only help. And Cindy Cap says, Beth, healthiest water flavoring, fresh lemon, lime, orange, or cucumbers. And you can find out more when you go to my Amazon sales page right there. Follow me for more life hacks. And also go to ckoepp.com for the best newsletter in the industry. But yeah, fresh lemon or lime and just minimal sweetening, if that. That really helps. And cucumber water. What you can do is you can make like a big pitcher of water and put some cucumbers at the bottom and let them sit for a few hours, and it kind of flavors the water, and it really makes it nice. You don't really need sweetener with it. And here's another thought. Stop thinking about and talking about food and get up and do some walking. There you go, Carl. I second that emotion. I think we've got some good health tips, and that's probably the best one yet. My Daniels, I love pita crackers, bread with hummus. I'll have to try it with the broccoli, but only on a day off from work. Yeah, I get that. And Cindy Gap says, your meal should contain 1/4 protein, 1/4 grainy, starchy things, 1/2 veggies, and all of a Nicholas Tockert that you can handle. And he's not just for breakfast anymore. Remember that. And from Nessa Small Press Culture, my sentiment of all this, moderation. There is no wholesale replacement for anything. Just have a more moderate approach on serving sizes and consumption. That's the thing. Sometimes I find myself, even at my advanced age, eating like I'm in college. Like I've got like a 5-minute walk to my next class. I've got 10 minutes to get there, and I don't have time for lunch, so I got to like scarf it down on the run. Little things, and this does help. It's like chew your food thoroughly, and when you take a mouthful of something, put your utensil down and take your hand off of it. And eventually, and this gives literally the sensors in your stomach time to register that it's getting fuller. And when you feel, you don't have to feel full, but you just have to feel not hungry, and then you stop eating and save the rest for later. Anyway, that's the hardest thing about diet and healthiness. Yeah, from Destin's Small Press Publisher, Joe, you're right. Also, keep in mind that you mentioned serving sizes. A good frame of reference is for like when you get a plate full of something, don't take more than what would fit inside a deck of cards. Or if worse comes to worse, your fist. Fortunately, I have large hands. So anyway, and we tend to overindulge. That we do. And the feeling of fullness is a nice one. So moderation in all things, including moderation. Go to John Pica. And that's one thing you don't have to be moderate about. Get all the John Pica you can. And hi, Cindy Cap, says Nick Tockert. And Molly Dale says, we college roomie and I had a rule in college, no eating after 9 p.m. I need to get back to that. That's something Cookie and I were violating for a long time when she worked second shift. She needed her sleep, and so she'd come dragging in after a long day. I would make her dinner. I tried to make it light, though. I always, here's another thing that there's an old saying that breakfast you should eat like a king. Lunch you should eat like you're a prince, and at dinner you should eat like you're a pauper. And because that gives you time to work off the food you've eaten in the morning and the afternoon. And then you have the nighttime one just to keep your blood sugar up. So anyway, the Smashwords thing was a stock merger, no money exchange. I did see that. Yeah. And I've talked to Mark Coker, the head of Smashwords, on several occasions. He's a pretty good guy. He's a good guy. So I'm optimistic this is going to be a good thing for all authors. Cindy Kep says, control your sugar intake, dastardly dingoes, and go to the YouTube channel and check out what they do. If I'm correct, do scales measure muscle, weight, and fat, or is it muscle and fat the same? No, muscle and fat are two different things. In fact, some people, if they work out vigorously, will find their weight loss going in reverse, that they'll gain weight, but a lot of that is muscle being built rather than fat, because muscle weighs more than fat. So that's something else to keep in mind. And in case Jake isn't aware, sodium equals salt. Thank you, Sarah. I'm glad you clarified that. I really am. And with a BW3 behind it, if memory serves. That's right. That's true. That's true. And like maybe one glass of V8 for only breakfast, that would be okay. Yeah, that would be great. Also, make sure you drink a lot of water, because when you have sodium, you need to flush it out of your system. That helps. And Cindy is here. So Cindy, show Cindy some love. Be like Sarah at Midgard Comics in Charleston, Illinois, and drop some money on her books at ckoepb.com, and you will not regret. I promise you that. Get her stuff. She is so freaking talented. She's a great wordsmith. And fake sugars are often unsafe if you have neurological issues. Yes, they're not that great for other people either. Use sparingly. After a while, controlling the sugar in your diet, you won't miss it, really. And you will miss nerd culture, so you better get as much of that in your life to replace the sugar you're not eating, because Ryan is that sweet. But no, that's true. And there's something about, like I said, aspartame that Cookie can't handle. But she's fine with other artificial sweeteners. But we've just gone back to sugar. But we're just moderate about it, is the thing. And Sarah says, look at fruit juices for 100%. Many of them around 15% juice if you don't look before you buy. That's an excellent point, Sarah. And I believe, I don't know if it's changed, but I think it used to be that as long as it had at least 10% volume in real juice, the beverage could call itself a juice. Otherwise, it's a drink. And that's an important distinction there. So, John B. Pica says, so, League of Impossibles was the #1 steampunk release on Amazon for 2 weeks. Yet when I approached the Atlanta Steampunk Expo to be a guest, their only responsive was, we're full. Guess what con I'm not going to this Saturday? Excuse me. Yeah, I got a flyer from a convention in Western Chicago, and I thought, man, that's one I need to get to, because that's my people up there. And then it turned out that they'd been the tables have been sold out for 2 weeks. So I'm going to write them, see if I can get on the waiting list. But I would love to go to that. Windy City Pulp and Paper. I've gone as an attendee. I'd like to set up there one time. I think that'd be fun. And next week on Nutrition Theories and Foods, Brian and company swap recipes for Valentine's Day dinner, says Nick Tockard. I can do it. Nick, I'm actually a very good cook, if I say so myself. I've been cooking since I was 8 years old. So I know my way around a Betty Crocker cookbook. And exercise is just as important as dietary control, says Cindy Kep. Weight bearing and cardio are good to increase. From the desk of a small press publisher will vouch for that. Check him out Saturday nights at 10 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And I've been constantly hungry for 9 months. You poor man. That's why he eats so much cereal on Saturday mornings. Sarah, I never had to diet until now. You still look good, And the thing is, if you do it because you want to feel healthier, that's one thing. But I think the worst reason to do it is for looks. That's kind of why I did my diet. I lost a frightening amount of weight in a very short time. I got sick as a dog. I really did. I finally had to gain the weight back because I was, the rumor is going around I had AIDS because I look like death. I really did. Obviously it wasn't. I'm still here. And weird diet fads and starvation diets are not good for you. That's true. That's true. Just eating healthy and in moderation mixed with exercise, you're going to be fine. So that's why you need to check out Amy Hale and her brand new book, Neurosis. She is a great author. And nutrition is a conspiracy? Yes, it is. They're in it together. The lizard people created it. And it feels weird because I remember when I was very thin. I remember you were very thin when we first met several years ago, but you're still hot, sweetheart. You're still hot. And so is Joe D. McPhee. Exactly, Carl Witzman. And so is Molly Dales. I didn't have to until my metabolism shut itself off in my 40s. Or it could be the 2 years I did nothing but sit on and write, or the year I decided to make my own chocolate candy. Yeah, all of which are contributing factors. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, mine started really slow down in my late 50s. And now it's non-existent. Sarah says just turning 40. It was like genetics kicked in on overdrive. Oh, yeah, I had the same problem. When I turned 40, it's like I could feel things shutting down. Then I got really sick. I got pneumonia. And all of a sudden, it's like it kickstarted my immune system. I was frighteningly healthy from that point on. And Cindy Cat says, control portion sizes. Every meal should have healthy plant-based fat, carbs, and protein. And Michaela Jade, which you can find in her Warrior Trilogy on Amazon. John Pica says, I'm getting ready to enter year 2 of my reinvention, so now I'm looking for a personality coach to make me likable. You're already there, John. I like you. So there. My Dan says, but in my defense, you can't just freeze one chocolate dino. If you can't fill the molds, just eat the leftover melted chocolate. Exactly. No waste, no want. Damn menopause. I know what you mean. I don't feel like the same woman I used to be. And do not forego meals. That will tell your body you're starving and it will burn fewer calories. That's why you need to go to quadcity.com. And just damn menopause on principle alone, says Carl Witzman. That's where everyone suffers, trust me. And where Jake Lindsay says, and one thing that's really good, I don't have the urge for sweets anymore. I now eat goldfish crackers instead of chocolate. That's good too. Also, though, be moderate about goldfish. Any sort of cracker uses a high amount of shortening, which is fat. Molly Dale says, my sister gets horrible headaches from aspartame. She learned that in college also after drinking Diet Coke. She cut out the Diet Coke and her headaches stopped. Cookie had to do the same thing. So, and then we just cut out pop, except when we're having like a mixed drink or something. And occasionally for dinner, we'll have a soda, but very rarely. Cindy Cap says the Des Moines Comic and Toy Expo toy show is February 12th. QuadCon invades Merle Hay Mall, and it's this weekend. Cool. And she will be there with books and dragons and a big hairy spider and some superb owls. Superb, I'm sure they are. And also Michaela Jade will be there, so check out our ladies there. It'll be a great time. Buy Cindy's books and Michaela's. And moderation, Jake, the goldfish are addicting. Yes, that's true. That's true. And John B. Pica says, I need counsel from the collective. My Back of the Cereal Box co-host wants to do the show an hour later at 9 a.m. Central. She thinks more people would watch live. Your opinion? My opinion, John, is check your your YouTube analytics, because there is one graph there that shows you when people are tuning in. Now, you could also do a test run and say, okay, next week we're going to be on at 9 instead of 8, and see how your numbers are then. The problem is, it's like we had kind of the same thing. This show used to be on at 9:30 in the morning, but to accommodate Cookie's work schedule, we moved it to 9 a.m. Central Time. It used to be 9:30. Yeah, it used to be 9:30 Eastern, and we moved it to 10, and it's been there ever since. And during that period of transition, it's like a lot of people would, tune in at 9:30 because you've trained them to be there, and they're like, "Oh, he's not broadcasting anymore. I guess we don't get to listen," and they go away because people can't read. So anyway, I say give it a test, but check your Google Analytics first and see if you get any sort of bump at 9. I mean, I can see both sides, but I think you need some empirical evidence with any luck. And I don't know about you, but egg sandwiches are amazing. Egg, cheese, and ham, says the Magic of Jake Lindsay. True. Excuse me. But again, moderation on that cheese. And also, don't forget, eggs have cholesterol, too. Cindy Cap says, if you have trouble sticking with your diet, find a friend who can help you, such as the Historical Fencing Guild, every Friday night at 8 p.m. with Nicholas Anthony Dockard. And from Deso Small Press Pulver Size, stop worrying about sugar. Most fruit and vegetables have natural sugars we need. Yeah, that's good. Where we have the problem with is that additional sugar we add to meals. Same thing with salt. That a lot of salts exist in the preparation of food. And like in my case, as long as the daily allotment is like in the 20s or lower, I'm good. But you get some like ramen, that stuff is lethal. I found some ramen at an Asian grocery about a month ago. It was like 97% salt. That's crazy. And the thing is, I was cutting out salt before I found out I had hypertension. And like, I've been moderate in my salt. I mean, I used to get a plate and start salting, then I taste it. I do use a little salt in cooking, but just a literal pinch. But if that's bad, if that is something you should not have, don't add salt to your food until you taste it. Okay, not everything needs salt. Pizza salting is obnoxious, and you're making people ill. Anyway, from National Small Press Publisher, if you think about the amount you add to foods, then you will find where you can cut it down. That's great advice. Thank you. And John Pica says, I only eat 1 cup of cereal on Saturday, and I use almond milk to stay under 300 calories. Okay, good man. I like almond milk. I do a lot of cooking with oat milk, in fact. Oat has, to me, more of a neutral flavor than almond milk. So oat milk is really good for gravies if you use that. So, and I tend to use the unsweetened version. And Burger King egg and cheese croissant sandwiches, and our new BK opens later this month. Oh, good for you! I'd ask you where it's at in Vincennes, but it's been so long since I've been through there that probably wouldn't matter. I mean, we took a tour. Cookie and I took a tour through Vincennes. And except for the downtown and the State Route 50 and 41 exchange, there wasn't a whole lot left from her time down there. In fact, they got rid of her apartments on the southwest side. I think it used to be near the Salvation Army in that area, and there's a steak restaurant down there. I think we went there one time when we were dating. But yeah, that's good that they're getting a new one. Now this kind of broke my heart when we moved into town. When we lived on Beck and Elston, on the southwest side of town, there was a Burger King like right down the road from us, and we're like, this rocks. And then they closed it like about 6 months after we moved down there, and they've reopened it as a packaged liquor store. And we're like, oh dang it, we're real close to a Burger King. We like Burger King. And then we move here, and we're 8 blocks from one, so it works. Anyway, but yeah, the egg and cheese croissant, that is good stuff. And Cindy Cap says, processed foods, things that come out of a box or can with minimal cooking, are not that great for you. They often contain a crazy amount of unhealthy fat, sugar, especially in the United States, and other garbage. Cooking from scratch takes longer, but is better for you. So is Comic Talks with Pops Van Zandt. Check him out on Facebook and on YouTube. And John Pica says, no, those Goldfish crackers have refined wheat flour. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of fat in them. Individually, they're not much, but we don't eat them one at a time. We grab a fistful, we shove them into our gobs, and we chew on them. So they're not that healthy for you. And 3 bottles of water, a good amount for a day. I think it depends on the person, Jake. Given your body mass, I think 3 bottles of water a day. They say you should drink up to 64 ounces a day, but some people, everybody's different. You have to see what's right for you. And Donna Carlene says, don't forget the protein with ham or sausage, Molly. That's right. And by the way, I love Cindy Kemp. John B. Pica, what right-thinking person does not love Cindy Kemp? She is amazing. We do love her. And Molly Downs, yeah. I know, Donna, just still adjusting eating habits. Yeah. And John P. Pica says, Star Wars Girl was live yesterday, AM at 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, and had over 600 live viewers. Well, good for Star Wars Girl. That's awesome. Excuse me. And Cindy Kemp says, and that's the end of her break. Don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Bring Cookie home. And Jake, if you want some practical help with rigging a diet based on what she's learned in the last 25 years, I'm willing to help you get stuff sorted out. Thank you, Cindy. That's very generous of you. And CKOEPP.com. Also check her out. Patreon.com /CKOEPP.com. She has great regular contributions on Patreon. She deserves your love and support. And Magic Jake Lindsay, is spring water healthier than purified water? Not necessarily, because spring water may have additional minerals and nutrients that purified water will not. and you definitely don't want distilled. Sarah, got hungry. Thanks. Eating oatmeal now. Brian likes oatmeal. And Molly Dale's water intake. Think it's supposed to be 6 cups a day. 6 cups a day. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember what it is anymore. And yay, Sarah, fiber. It all comes out in the end. And Molly Dale says, I'm out of Fruity Pebbles and I don't like Wheaties. Only cereal in the house at the moment. I'll fix something for lunch instead. There you go. Well, we went to our Payless on Greenbush, and they had a sale on corn checks. I had some of that this morning. That was kind of good. And here we go. Rick Bradley says, be careful researching diets. Don't follow the Rock's diet. Yes, he's in amazing shape and eating more calories than I do in a week, but he's also burning those with the crazy weight training he does. Find the diet that works for you and talk to your primary care doctor as well. They might know a few things or even someone they can recommend you to help plan it out. Very good advice, Rick. That's excellent advice, sir. But yeah, what was it? Michael Phelps? I think it's the swimmer. He was eating something like 15,000 calories a day. That is probably about, I don't even want to do the math of how many people that would kill. But the thing is, he was also training for the Olympics at that point, being the fastest swimmer alive. And that was, like with The Rock, he was burning it off. The Rock does weight training, like, what is it, 3 or 4 times a day? Yeah, he's burning that stuff constantly. You don't want to imitate The Rock. This will do you in. And Molly, stay away from fast food, especially BK. Oh, I stay away from McDonald's. Ever since I cut out, I dropped the sugar and the sodium from my diet. All I eat when I go to McDonald's, all I taste is sugar and fat and burned fat and salt in everything, no matter what it is. Excuse me. And the service in McDonald's the last couple of years is, since COVID started, has become abominable. We were at the Burger King in Kokomo last year. We were going to go in and get a couple of coffees, and their line for the drive-through was, practically, like an Ouroboros eating itself. And we went inside to get waited on, and they're just wandering around, and they'll just look at you and don't give a damn about you waiting on you, or even just saying, oh, we're busy, we'll be with you in a minute. I would handle that. Excuse me. And it's not the only McDonald's I've gone to with crappy service. So, it used to be the best service in the industry, and it's gone way downhill ever since. And Donna Carlene says 6 to 8 ounce glasses, Molly. That sounds more like what I would think. Yeah. And Sarah says, with ramen, you don't have to use the packet. I turned it into spaghetti. I can't stand the flavor packets. It's like eating a square of bouillon. Yes. And in fact, we use something here in the house called Better Than Bouillon. It's still got a lot of salt in it, but it's a little less than regular bouillon. But yeah, in fact, with the ramen, what we do is we use half a pack to get the flavor. So like she comes home, I'll make like 2 little packets of ramen in the same thing, and then I'll just use like 1 flavor packet in that, and we use the rest for cooking. So good advice there, Sarah. Very, very good advice. And I love Special K cereal with strawberries and bananas. Now that's good for you. That's pretty good for you there, Jake. And yes, fiber is essential. Yes, it is. And ramen, I only use half the packet, says Molly Dales. Makes it too salty if I use the entire thing. Yeah, I would use like a whole thing of the whole packet, and my left leg would swell up obnoxiously. So I learned not to do that. But yeah, I only use half the flavor packet if I'm making it for me, and if it's for both of us, I just use the one and put the other away for another dish. Cindy Cap says, one more tip, then I must go into lurker mode. We appreciate your being here, Cindy. Read the ingredient list on everything. If you need an organic chemistry degree to make sense of it, or you find more dyes and natural and artificial flavors than natural foods, look for a better option. That's true. And the thing is that's very good advice. I also figure that if you can't pronounce it, you don't need it in your body. Okay, that's my rule of thumb. If it sounds like it's like an imp from the 5th dimension, you don't need that. But basically, it's a lot of it is just not a whole lot of sudden decisions and lifestyle changes, but gradually easing into it till it becomes a habit is a good way to do it, I found. And Carl, what is this cooking they keep talking about? This is how the rest of us make food hot, Donna, without sticking it in a microwave. And whatever cereal you eat, stay away from grape nuts. That is some awful cereal. That's not bad. I've had ones I like better. If I'm going to get bran, I'm going to get what is it? The the bran flakes from like Kellogg's or what? Bran flakes. I like bran flakes. And Pat's Donahan, don't worry about it, dear. We have a microwave. And honey is high in calories but healthy in small amounts. Exactly. And water, says John B. Pica. I drink 16 8-ounce bottles a day. I would be getting up every 10 minutes at night. So, and no, water consumption should be half your body weight in ounces. If you are 200 pounds, you will need to drink 100 ounces of water. I've not heard that. That's interesting. I can see that, though. I've always gone by the thing that you should check your urine. And the clearer it is, that's how you tell how hydrated you are. So if it comes out in a darker color, you need to up your water consumption. But if it's kind of like if it looks like a light beer or more transparent than that, then you're doing okay. And the pod catheter from Rising Tide Industries. Thank you, Carl Witzman. Operators are standing by. Molly Daniels' family likes it when I'm off work. I cook from scratch. Last night it was tacos. Tonight's homemade beef stroganoff or Wolfgang Puck chicken. Cookie made homemade chicken and dumplings the other night. And OMG, it was so good. And water, you need to drink at least one half your body weight in fluid ounces every day. John, you and Joe, that's the first time I've heard that. Seriously, that metric, that's interesting. And Carl Weston says, Jake, get a Fitbit, do your 5,000 steps a day. You will be amazed, then raise it to 10,000 steps. Yeah. Cookie keeps it. She's been really dropping some weight the last year because she's doing all that walking. She's had a couple nights when she's done over 25,000 steps. So. Never catch me doing that. Anyway, but you could catch me. I'm not that fast. Anyway, John B. Pica says you can follow The Rock's diet as long as you follow his fitness plan. When I start making his money, I will do that. And John, but give up my chicken fries, my easy breakfast while driving to see you and other here's a show. Bite your tongue, says Molly Daniels. You have to pick your battles. And ramen, get rice noodle ramen. Pasta, use chickpea pasta. What I want to do, John, is hopefully this year I want to teach myself how to make my own pasta, because you can tell the difference flavor wise. I have had fresh pasta and it cooks quicker. Even if you let it dry out in the refrigerator, it cooks in about 3 or 4 minutes. It's really fast. It's about as fast as ramen. And Rick Bradley, I ain't got the time or money to follow The Rock's fitness plan. You mean you aren't already? I thought you were. And Sarah, the first ingredients are the most in the foods. That's true. And grape nuts are awesome, says John B. Pica. And from Destin Small Press Publisher says, I had 2 doctors tell me that and it's stuck. Okay, most people don't know that they are really dehydrated. They are. Yeah, and a lot of people think they are having hunger pangs when it's really just a reaction to decreased hydration. You're right. You're very right. And I got you covered, Joe. I'm your man. I got you covered, my friend. And with that, we have caught up. I kept up with I did pretty good keeping up with the comments this morning, if I say so myself. So anyway, coolness. So I'm thinking we've got an hour and a half in. That's pretty good. And also don't count your water from, you can count water from, like tea and coffee, but also keep in mind that they are diuretics and you may actually rapidly lose more water in urination than you gain. So just a little thing. And fat cannot persist when fully hydrated. I like that, John B. Pica. I like that a lot. So anyway, I'm thinking we've gotten some good stuff done. And Jake, we hope we've helped you. The thing is, I think the best advice is talk to your physician. Many healthcare plans will allow you to, they have a nutritionist on staff and they can provide guidance for you. So I think consulting with your, with your healthcare provider is a good first step, but otherwise, increase your green vegetables and increase your water and cut down on your fat, pre-processed foods, and sugars, just anything that isn't really healthy for you. So, and we just got some more fresh comments. Here we go. Donna Carlene says, I had a dehydration problem, but a nurse friend of mine turned me on to drinking a few swallows of Pedialyte a day, and now I'm good. Oh, that's interesting to know. And now with all this talk about food, don't everyone run and gulp down a big lunch, go walk, says Carl Witzman. That's right. And good show. Love you to the abyss and back always. Same to you, Sarah. Mwah. All right. Love you, hon. And yeah, thanks so much. Well, I hope you did get something from it, Jake. Hope we've helped. And Brian K., my doctor told me coffee was not that dehydrating. Yeah, my doctor's mostly concerned with the caffeine in it. But I told him that's all that keeps my heart going. So, and Carl Witzman, everyone have a great day. You too, Carl. Thank you for being here. You and Donna both. John B. Pica, for every ounce of coffee and tea, you have to add an additional ounce of water. That's not a problem. And Molly Danielson, come to my house for dinner. Yeah, there we go. And nutritionist versus dietitian difference. I personally believe that eating a healthier diet will, especially once you start cutting back on portions and increasing your exercise, will help you lose that weight. So I'm sure there is a difference, but I don't know it. And Skunk Cracker says, I know I've been gone for a while working, but I feel like I missed something. We were talking about diets today. Skunk, the other day we were talking the 80s, and we were talking about music and stuff. So, you miss something when you don't watch this show. I'm telling you, I zone out. I miss things. So, but right now, all this talk about hydration, I think I need some water. But anyway, we've got some more comments. And Donna Carlene from the Small Press Publisher. Electrolyte water works differently than tap. So yeah, just like old school. Gatorade used to do that too. Gatorade now has too much sugar. I thought so. And John B. Pica says, I'm working with a nutritionist. Okay, cool, John. That's probably why you're getting such spectacular results. And I'm telling you, this guy is Harley Quinn. And the Magic Jake Lindsay says, hopefully I'll wear an XL at some point. I used to be 3X at Christmas, now 2XL. Well, that's progress, Jake. It won't happen overnight. And if you can lose like 1 pound a week, that's healthy. I lost around 100 pounds in 6 months. That almost killed me. Seriously. And it might, be the reason I've got a couple of issues today because of that. So, but, just do it in all things in moderation, especially moderation. So good luck on your journey. The thing is, I used to have a 56-inch waistline at one point in time after I graduated from high school. But now I am significantly thinner than that. You wouldn't believe it. And here we go. And Skunk Cracker says, well, in that case, speaking of diets, don't diet. Feed Cookie. Yes, sir. That's how I got her in the first place, Skunk. That's why I always say to people who are dating, feed your woman. Anyway, glad you're here, Skunk Rocker. And Molly Daniel says, my goal is 5 pounds per month. That's doable. That's safe. And John Pica says, I was XXL and down to L on my way to M. John, I'm proud of you, man. I really am. You're doing such a super job on that. You really are. And you're looking healthy. That's the thing. I've seen people do rapid weight loss, and they look like they've got some sort of wasting disease. But John looks healthy. That's the thing, and that's the goal, is to be healthy so that you guys can stick around and engage in this folderol with me 3 times a week. And go, John, go, says Cindy Kip. You are officially being cheered on by Cindy Kip. Good for you, John. That's incentive for any man. But anyway, my incentive is now to get out of here. I've got a couple things I've got to get done before Cookie gets home. But anyway, I'm glad that you guys and gals were here. Appreciate you all. Love you. And hope you have a sensational day. From the Destin Small Press Publisher, John B. Pica is a cereal expert. Why is grape nuts so awful tasting? I have had awful cereal before, but that's the worst for fiber. I don't know for fiber. My general Cookie doesn't like grape nuts either. I think it's a crunchy thing. I think they're just the pellets. I think it's a crunchiness thing that turns me off. They're too crunchy. But I like grape nut, the bran flakes. The stuff with the raisins in it. Raisin Bran. That's what I'm thinking of. Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran a lot. And Rick Bradley says, everyone take care and stay creative. You too, brother. Have a great day, my friend. And I love brand checks and miss it. Oh man, I hadn't thought about brand checks in ages. Do they probably still make it, but I just haven't seen any in the stores for it. ages, forever. That's interesting. And okay, here we go. Grape nuts is dense. You gotta let them soak. Yes. I love grape nuts. I pretend I'm the rock biter from Never Ending Stories, says Rick Bradley. Well, John, what I used to like to do was uh, kind of like warm up put the milk in the grape nuts and then warm them up in the microwave, almost like oatmeal. And that's good eating there. That's good stuff. Good. Yeah. I think it's the density that turns me off on that stuff. But what doesn't turn me off, you guys don't turn me off. You guys make me happy. And anyway, let's check out here. And the first thing we got to do is do the attitude of gratitude. And we're always grateful to our everyday sponsor, Mr. Jeffrey Hayes. And check out Plasma Fire Graphics when the look of your book matters to you. Plasma Fire Graphics does all kinds of great book designs. You need to get them on your team too. Check out their Facebook page, Plasma Fire Graphics, and then go to plasmafiregraphics.com. Check out the rest of their inventory, then contact Jeffrey Hayes and find out what his indie creator friendly prices are. You'll be amazed and astounded and delighted. That is Plasma Fire Graphics, and the look of your book matters to you because it definitely matters to your readers. We're a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We've got a brand new schedule up. And stay tuned. Later today, Dr. John, the original gangsta, is going to be having a brand new show at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then tonight, Rising Tide Showcase will feature Nicholas Anthony Tockert with a special edition of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher to make up for last Friday's glitch-ridden extravaganza. And then tomorrow morning, Comics Unlimited with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming talking about ink artists. Who are they? You will find out. Check out that great show. Then Comic Book Spectrum tomorrow night at 7, followed by Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m., followed by Last Man Standing at 11 p.m. Also, check out Excelsior Journeys with George Saray at random times on Tuesday, as well as the Late Night with Keisha, midnights roughly once a week. Check her A-Cuff Creations page on YouTube for updates and more stuff. Also, go to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page and please give that a like, because you'll learn all kinds of stuff there. Also, please go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. We have posted all kinds of great stuff on there. We're up to 2 blogs a week now. I'm very happy with myself. Excuse me. And for the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing 2 blogs a week on Monday and Thursday. And we are also this Friday, we are going to put up another chapter of The Terrors. And already started working on my blogs for next week. That's how far in advance we want to go. But anyway, please check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And you can get your name on this list too, to show everybody how generous and how much you support the independent arts. Anyway, folks, we are going to take our leave now. Thank you for an incredible hour and 40 plus minutes of folderol and good advice. And we hope we have helped anyone watching this that's going to undertake a diet. Never know what the topic's going to be when I start, but by golly, we get some good stuff accomplished. And one more comment here. Molly Dan says, I love Chex Mix. I do too. There is a thing, and Molly, I can't remember the name of it, but it's kind of like a powdered sugar coating on them. And the only place I have found in peanuts, or not peanuts, but like walnuts and stuff on them, I think. The only place we've seen them are at like the Flying J and Pilot outlets along the highways and byways of America. And it's delicious stuff. It is totally addictive, which is why we don't go those places anymore, and we have to. But anyway, folks, again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all of you, and we hope that you make this a special day, not just for yourself, but for someone else, and enjoy the slightly warmer weather that we're enjoying at the moment. And just be good to yourself, because God knows you've deserved it. And so, as always, this is Brian K. Morris. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your patronage. And remember to stay smart, stay safe, Wash your hands and never apologize for being awesome. Have a fantastic hump day, and it's New Comics Day, everyone. I'll see you in the comic shop in about an hour or two. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.